The title of this legislation is Improving Public Safety and Criminal Justice for Native Americans and Addressing the Crisis of Missing or Murdered Indigenous People. I'm proud to sign it. It's long overdue. There you go, Madam Secretary. General?
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Secretary?
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all so very much. We're going to make some substantial change in Indian country, and it's going to continue. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will you comment?
If there was ever any doubt that Joe Biden could care less about the black community, then let the video that you just watched of him signing an executive order on improving public safety and criminal justice for Native Americans and addressing the crisis of missing or murdered indigenous people be the proof that you need to understand this truth. In America, 2020 was a year of two things: the big C-19 and black Americans getting shot by police and suspected white supremacists. Now, concerning the latter, all of last year, you heard nothing but conversations surrounding criminal justice reform, the prison industrial complex, the school to prison pipeline, as well as the history of policing going from slave patrols to the NYPD. And these conversations were all primarily rooted in and around the history of descendants of American slavery and black Americans as a whole, with the pillars of those conversations being George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. And what came out of all of this? An AAPI hate crime bill and a Native American criminal justice reform bill. Now, let's just take a moment to go over a few facts. And what I want to do is read from this CBS News article that came out last month titled, "2020 saw highest number of reported hate crimes in 2 decades. Updated FBI data shows." The number of hate crimes reported in 2020 was the highest recorded in 2 decades, according to the updated FBI data released Monday. The FBI revealed its amended hate crime statistics for fiscal year 2020 following a technical submission error that had excluded some data from Ohio in the agency's original release in August. The FBI has since addressed the technical challenge in the state's reporting system. Law enforcement agencies submitted reports for 8,263 criminal incidents and 11,129 related offenses motivated by bias toward race, ethnicity, ancestry, religion, sexual orientation, disability, gender, and gender identity. The updated release reflects an increase in more than 500 hate crime incidents with the inclusion of the new data. In total, nearly 62% of hate crimes were tried to an individual's race nationwide, according to the FBI. As in past years, black Americans made up the largest share of individuals targeted because of their race or ethnicity. But last year, individuals of Asian descent saw a 73% increase in hate crimes. Now let's get into the actual data. What you're looking at right here is the Federal Bureau of Investigation Crime Data Explorer. Now, this particular portion of the Crime Data Explorer is specifically focused on hate crimes. And when you go to the section called Bias and you scroll all the way down to the end of that section, what you will see is that they reported last year that there was 8,263 hate crime incidents. Of that total, the number of hate crimes towards Native Americans was a whopping 96. Now remember, hate crimes towards the AAPI community went up 73% last year, which brought them to a grand total of 279 hate crime incidents. And let's not forget about the LGBTQ, who received their executive order on preventing and combating discrimination on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation. Now, when we come back to the FBI's Crime Data Explorer and you take a look at their numbers, Anti-transgender hate crimes accounted for 213 incidents, while anti-lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender mixed group hate crimes accounted for 306 incidents. And then there's Black Americans, who gave Joe Biden 87% of their votes and has yet to receive a single bill or executive order that is exclusively for them, yet is sitting at the top of this list with 2,871 hate crime incidents. Out of an overall total of 8,263 hate crimes committed in the United States, almost 3,000 of those incidents were anti-Black hate crimes. And then there's everybody else, and it's not even close. Yet everybody else is getting their hate crime, discrimination, social justice, police reform bills, except for you.
What did the five fingers say to the face?
What?
Slap!
At some point, brothers and sisters, Black Americans are going to have to do something different politically. And I don't claim to have it all completely figured out, but in the process of figuring it out, in my humble opinion, I personally believe that it is time for us to adopt a mindset of, if we don't eat, then nobody eats. And you accomplish that by ensuring that the Democrats never win another election until things are made right between the United States government and the Black community. We already know the Republicans aren't going to do anything specifically for Black Americans, but the Democratic Party is a special kind of wicked because, as I've always said, Republicans don't pretend to be your friend. They just tell it to you like it is, and you could either accept it or not. But the Democratic Party, they pretend to be your friend. And once they get into office, they make it a point to prioritize everybody over you. So with that should come consequences. And the consequence is that you will never win another election again. The Democrats control the presidency, the House, and the Senate. There is absolutely no excuse for why not one single bill has been passed that is specifically addressing the needs and disparities of Black America exclusively, just as Joe Biden has made sure to do that for everybody else. There is no excuse. I don't want to hear anything about the Republicans. I don't want to hear anything about the filibuster. I don't want to hear anything about Joe Manchin. There is no excuse. And because of that, there must be consequences. And with all that being said, that does it for today's video. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. All social media links will be pinned in the comment section below. Please make sure you text tdhiphop to number 33222. That's tdhiphop to number 33222. That way you'll get a direct text notification whenever I release a new video, but it also serves as a protection plan for myself in case YouTube ever gives this channel the axe. I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. And last but not least, for those of you who have a love and appreciation for the work that I put in on this channel, the number one way you can show your support is through Patreon for only $3 a month. That will help put me in position to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube, but to grow independent of YouTube. And for those who have issues with joining Patreon, you could also hit the join button that's next to the subscribe button, and that way you can become an official channel member for as little as $3 a month as well. And lastly, if you have not already, please make sure you join the emailing list. There is no way that I can go independent of YouTube if I cannot take the audience with me. And the link to that will be pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you for your time, and until the next video, peace.